The air crackled with disbelief. President Trump, in a move that stunned the world, slammed the brakes on his controversial tariffs. The announcement, delivered through his preferred medium of Truth Social, sent shockwaves through global markets and left his own administration scrambling. Just a day prior, the president had seemed resolute, determined to forge ahead with his reciprocal tariffs. What had changed? The answer, it seemed, lay in the tumultuous world of finance. The bond market, that barometer of investor confidence, had spoken, and its message was one of fear. A sharp sell-off in U.S. government bonds, a highly unusual event for what is typically considered a safe haven asset, had set alarm bells ringing. Was this a blip, a temporary tremor, or a harbinger of an economic earthquake to come? For Trump, a man who relishes the image of a strong economy, the bond market's message was clear. The tariffs were a gamble too far. The potential damage to his own political fortunes, already facing headwinds, was too great a risk. With the 2026 elections looming, the president, never one to shy away from a fight, found himself in unfamiliar territory retreat.
The bond market, often seen as the stoic elder statesman of the financial world, was in uncharted territory. U.S. Treasury bonds, long considered among the safest investments globally, were being dumped by investors, and yields were spiking. This was not the usual dance of profit and loss. This was a full-blown flight to safety, and the safe haven itself seemed to be crumbling. What made this sell-off so alarming was its sheer scale and speed. Foreign governments, major holders of U.S. debt, seemed to be leading the exodus. Whispers of a crisis louder than the 2008 financial meltdown started circulating in the corridors of power. The implications were chilling. If the world lost faith in the U.S.'s ability to repay its debts, the consequences would be catastrophic. Economists struggled to explain the bond market's behavior. Some pointed to the president's unpredictable trade policies, others to the ballooning federal deficit. Whatever the reason, one thing was clear: the bond market, usually a lagging indicator of economic health, was now screaming a warning about the future.
The pressure on President Trump was immense. It wasn't just the bond market turmoil that was giving him sleepless nights. It was the chorus of dissent rising from within his own party, the business community, and even his inner circle. The tariffs, once touted as a tool to protect American jobs and industries, were now being blamed for economic uncertainty and potential disaster. Phone lines at the White House were buzzing. Business leaders, fearing the tariffs would cripple their businesses and damage the economy, pleaded with anyone who would listen. Republican lawmakers, already anxious about the upcoming midterms, feared a backlash from voters feeling the pinch of higher prices. Even Trump's stalwart allies in the media began to question the wisdom of his trade war.
Inside the White House, a sense of urgency gripped senior officials. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, known for his calm demeanor, reportedly made an impassioned case to the president, emphasizing the gravity of the bond market situation. Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, a shrewd political operator, argued that the tariffs were eroding Trump's political capital, jeopardizing his re-election chances.
The White House, scrambling to control the narrative, issued a series of contradictory statements, adding to the confusion. Narrator, media group, confused business people, bewildered faces in a meeting, shocked news anchors at its stock at distribute _equally. The suddenness of the announcement left many bewildered. U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer, while testifying before Congress about the benefits of the tariffs, seemed completely unaware of the impending policy reversal. S3, media group, politician looking confused, surprised official in a meeting, government officials in a heated discussion at its stock at distribute _equally. The decision, by all accounts, was made on gut feeling, a last-minute course correction driven by a confluence of factors. The bond market turmoil, the mounting political pressure, the whispers of dissent from within his own administration, all had converged to force the president's hand. Narrator, media group, political protest, government building with protesters, political rally at its stock at distribute _equally. No carefully worded press release, no orchestrated media appearances, just a raw, unfiltered declaration from the president himself. The tariffs were being paused, effective immediately. S3, media group, breaking news headline, urgent announcement, government announcement at its stock at distribute _equally. Section 4. A decision made on gut feeling, Trump's tariff surprise. The announcement came as a bolt from the blue. In typical Trump fashion, it was delivered via a series of Truth Social posts, catching even his closest advisors off guard.
Section 5. Market relief and uncertainty, the aftermath of a pause. The initial reaction from the markets was one of relief. Stocks, which had been on a roller coaster ride in recent weeks, soared on the news.
The bond market, too, stabilized, as if catching its breath after a near-death experience. The tariff pause, it seemed, had averted disaster, at least for now.
Yet, beneath the surface of relief, a current of uncertainty remained. The president, while acknowledging the role of market instability and criticism in his decision, also insisted that the pause was not a retreat, but a strategic maneuver.
He hinted at potential exemptions for certain U.S. companies, decisions he claimed were made instinctively. The tariff pause had calmed the storm, but the clouds of economic uncertainty still lingered.
The world waited with bated breath for the president's next move, wondering if this was a temporary truce or a prelude to a new chapter in the trade war. One thing was certain. In the age of Trump, predictability was a luxury no one could afford.
Stay tuned and subscribe to our channel for more hot news and updates on this unfolding story.